Now NPR is just finally noticing that this president is an aged 80. He's an infirm 80, finally deciding it's okay to report on how he's using the short stairs to get on Air Force One, something that has been in at least the conservative press now for months. If you were paying attention at all, you noticed that they shifted his entry on board the plane and his departure to the middle of the plane and those shorter stairs as opposed to the long stairs because he continues to fall up them. And of course, the article is complete with quotes from people like David Axelrod saying the voters, they don't care. You don't measure presidents by their ability to navigate steps. You elect presidents based on their ability to navigate problems. To me, I read this and all I can think is he just doesn't want Obama to stop being the secret president. He's like, just keep him, right? Just keep him in there.
I mean, the thing about it is, there's some areas and topics that require expertise and people feel intimidated by if they don't have that expertise. If you talk about medicine or law or, any number of fields that require actual expertise to participate fully. But people are very capable of seeing when somebody else is impaired because, as I said, it's a very common thing that we all deal with in our lives and our families and our friends and everywhere else. And people could see with their own eyes that Joe Biden is a completely different person than he was even 5 years ago, let alone 10 years ago and 20 years ago. And he's a very impaired person in the way that an older person becomes very slowed down, very kind of just often lost and incapable of navigating themselves physically and mentally. It is not just physical impairment. It is mental impairment. I always go back to the fact, Megyn, you can go and watch some amazing clips from MSNBC in particular. In 2018 and 2019, Democratic insiders, those kind of strategist types that go on cable, were very concerned that Joe Biden was going to get the nomination, primarily due to the fact that he was the most known figure for serving at Obama's side for all those years, and that he's been around forever, because they were saying he's in cognitive decline. He is not capable of withstanding the rigors of a campaign, let alone the presidency. These were Democratic insiders saying that. And of course, once Biden got the nomination, it became prohibited to say it any longer. It was immoral and cruel or whatever. But they were the ones saying it first. And that was 5 years, 2018. And you can see the difference visibly just in these 4 to 5 years. So if they think they're going to hide this from voters, polls already show this widespread concern. It's not something you need expertise to detect. It's extremely visible. There's no lying your way around it. And I think Democrats are in a gigantic amount of denial about the problem this is going to present to them. I really do.
Oh, they think this is going to pass. This is going to appease us. Listen to Karine Jean-Pierre talking about this to CNN the other day.
It is hard for us to keep up with this president who is constantly working every day to get things done and making sure that we are delivering for the American people. And I think that's what matters. I get it. I get what you're asking me, but the record matters too, Jake.
Cognitively, it may actually be hard for Karine Jean-Pierre to keep up with Joe Biden. I mean, I'm not going to doubt her on that. She's not a smart person. Sorry, she's not. But this is a lie that all the aides keep planting in all the magazine articles and the newspaper articles about how they can barely keep up with him, Glenn. We know it's a lie.
I think one of the reasons why this is such a danger for Democrats is because this is something I think people feel confident in their own abilities. They don't need to be told what to think about this. This is something people feel very comfortable in assessing for themselves. And I think what this is not just ineffective. It's like an aggressive insult to people's intelligence to try and tell them to believe something that with their own eyes they know is a lie.
It's
and
a gaslight.
Also disrespectful, classic gaslight. And it's also disrespectful because they're essentially saying, we know that you can see this person is not capable of running this country, but we're going to continue to insist that he stay in power anyway. It's the ultimate entitlement syndrome. Even if people aren't wondering yet who's really behind Joe Biden, who the real president is, which I think is going to start becoming the question, I just think it seems very disrespectful to Americans to tell them that this person is just somehow divinely entitled to remain in power, even though everyone can see with their own eyes that he's not capable of doing the job.
Yes, that's so well put. That's exactly how I'm feeling. Because they're not honest about it. In the same way, I have to say, McConnell's office is clearly not being honest about whatever medical issue he is struggling with. And we have a right to know. We have a right to know because these people have very important positions. Now you have Biden after, 10 days of terrible coverage since last Monday when he went finally to Maui and stepped all over himself and referenced his house fire from years ago that he exaggerated and lied about. It talked about how his Corvette almost got damaged and maybe he almost lost a cat. I mean, we've gone over the numbers. He does it again. He talked about it again from the White House yesterday. Listen here.
I didn't know anything like that, but lightning struck my house. We had to be out of that house for about 7 months while it was repaired because so much damage was done to the house and half the house almost collapsed.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. There's no way they haven't told him to stop doing that, but he can't remember.
No, this is the thing, Megyn. I mean, I think this is the other danger for Democrats. Whatever else you want to say about Joe Biden, I've never obviously been a fan of Joe Biden. His ideology, his politics, quite the contrary. He has always had a certain kind of political talent. Like, there's no denying that. He has the sort of ability to relate to people in a way that just he makes him seem like an ordinary person, even though he's been in Washington since the age of 29 in the U.S. Senate, has had anything but an ordinary life. He has that kind of like innate political skill. And it isn't just his cognitive abilities and his physical resilience that are rapidly disappearing before our own eyes. It's also that ability to connect to other people and to make them seem like he understands or imagine. I mean, that fire in Maui is horrific. You're talking about over 1,000 children dead, people's homes destroyed, their lives irrevocably wrecked. And for him to go in front of a camera after being very distant from this entire disaster, saying no comment that time at the beach and then claiming he didn't hear their question, and trying to imply that he has had a similar sort of disaster in his own life because there was like a garage spark one time that almost burned down his car or something, is just the kind of like tone deaf, just like political disaster that I think you're going to be seeing more and more of because it's part of this decline.
So where did you learn about money? Budgeting, saving, investing, and spending. If you're like me, it was not in school. My parents did the best they could. Not really on the money front. They did nothing. But now I want my kids to be better at money matters than I was at their age, which is where Busy Kid comes in. Busy Kid is an interactive money management app for kids and teens to help them learn how to earn, save, invest, and spend money wisely. It gives them real-life experience and allows parents to still be a safety net with approvals and monitoring. The more kids earn, save, invest, and spend on the app, the more they build healthy financial routines to use as adults. Busy Kid is great for kids and teens 5 to 17 years old, and everyone gets a personalized debit card to learn how to shop and how to manage invisible money. Busy Kid's offering a limited time special for my audience right now, 20% off a family subscription. So for less than $4 a month, this app and credit card can transform how your kids think about and use money. It's not exactly a credit card. It's like a debit card of sorts. To start, download Busy Kid and enter the promo code MK to get 20% off. Again, download Busy Kid and use promo code MK for 20% off. There's even a 30-day guarantee. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.